to me and my loneliness, same as it ever was. Niggas don't owe me shit, but when you get flambé, don't expect no piss. Every morning I give thanks for my gift. I wander this round ball with the sound off to watch they lips move. The deceit is in the groove, spit it nasty, no one told me what to do, and I don't like when they try to. This makes me very unlikable. 5s and 2s, but I ain't a betting man. Just feeling the change jingle in my hand. You know they should put warnings on Pringles cans. Look what I built with a single stand. Admittedly wayward, said the bitterest to be savored. Ah yes, the homies held it down, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention how they grabbed me from the edge. Gave me love, gave me scripture, gave me eggs, lent me lawyer money, long phone calls, and said, keep your head up, beloved. You're blessed. You're blessed. Yo, the angels giggled. They knew this was a painful riddle, and I had been talking the most shit. Time to see if that check bounces off the dribble. Fell behind, so I pick it up a little. Good hustle. To me, a good mood is a muscle. I got to work that out. I got to work that out. I got to work that out, yeah. You know the muse is snickered. Niggas talk shit, then abandon ship. I'm on the same yacht that I rode in with. I said niggas talk shit, then abandon ship. I'm on the same yacht that I rode in with. Ay, niggas talk shit, then abandon ship. I'm on the same yacht that I rode in with. You know niggas talk shit, then abandon ship. I'm on the same yacht that I rode in with.
Yeah, you know, I hit the record button already, but obviously, like I didn't really prepare a lot of questions for this. I just want to talk to you, you know, on a human level or whatever. If anything feel, you know, controversial to you, we cut it out, or you know what I mean. I know how you is, so yeah, I just want to put that out, put that in the air. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to Barbara Walters ambush journalism, some shit. You know what I mean?
No, bro. I got no secrets. I'm an open book. Yeah. I'm down. Yeah, no.
That's what I figured as well.
I greatly appreciate you even reaching out and wanting to yuck it up. So yeah, man.
Yeah, it's been a whole minute since the last time we when you was out here in Tokyo and we got to build a bit. So you know, indeed, yeah. Bro. How has everything been?
I mean, everything is splendid now. I've been through a couple travails since I seen y'all out there, but
right,
it ain't nothing to it. You know, it's part of life, part of the path. You just go through it to get through it. But yeah, it's just splendid now, dude.
Yay, word. Two album releases this year, Outstanding Understanding, and the new joint with Kenny. So congratulations on both of those. You know, I had to cop both of those, and I'm still getting through the Night Green side of it. But so far, whenever you and Kenny connect, it's something special. Yeah, it's absolutely something special.
That's my dog. Thank you, man. Yeah, that's my dog. We I think we both genuinely love working together, which is why we don't rush to do it, just because to keep it fun and shit. But like whenever we link up, it's always like, damn, dog, this like the coldest shit.
yeah, man. I was talking to the homie today, and he was like, he's like, why these niggas make me talk about Rory so much on Twitter? Made me forget he the GOAT. I'm 2 tracks into the new shit. He the GOAT. And I was like, I feel you, dog.
Shout out to homie.
Yeah, that's my man, Rap Man Gavin. He a South African MC who's really solid and dope too. You might have seen him on a project or two. He be all over the place, and he's steadily spiraling up. He's really phenomenal and amazing. But yeah. Yeah. So you know, I want to get into a real casual. Nashville, dog. Like, how the hell did you get out there? Every time I think about Nashville, I think about my dad talking about, you know, shit kicking cowboys, and it just don't seem like a place that's real, like, place that's safe for black folks and shit. How is it out there?
It's extremely safe for black folks, bro. And historically speaking, it always has been. When MLK Jr. was doing his thing through the South, he said the black folks in Nashville were the most organized of anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we got a beautiful black history down here, dog, and that's what I love. I've been a touring man my whole adult life, and I came through Nashville back in that 2015 maybe, and I met a beautiful young lady and made my first son, and so I just been in love with Nashville since. Okay. And when my son was about 3, I left Maine, and we just come down south with it, man. And I plan on staying down here forever. I love Tennessee. I love the spirits in the air. I love that it's part of, our for lack of a better term, it's part of the black ancestral homeland down here.
Okay,
And
bet.
and I dig that. Not on no FBA type shit, but just, again, our history do come down here, bro. And
Yeah, yeah.
I like to be in that, steeped in that. But Nashville and Music City, um,
Right.
yeah, I don't know. I was called down here by my adventures. Nothing really
Okay.
too much beyond that. I just wandered through and thought I'd stay a while.
And now folks will rock a cowboy hat and shit.
Hey man, I come up rocking cowboy hats now.
Oh,
My
word.
grandfather was one of them wild niggas on the south side of Chicago with the big cowboy hat on, and it was a rite of passage in my family, in my black family, like your first pair
Yeah.
of cowboy boots, going out to the west side, getting that. And so all this kind of stuff is very normal to me. Again, my
Okay.
grandfather was like hella into country, blues, all that kind of music I grew up around. So just connecting the dots.
Huh. Yeah, like for me, my father, he's a black Seminole. He was born on the res. You go back a couple generations, and that's my black lineage. But also, he was born in 1941, so he already a grown man by the time civil rights movement, came to conclusion or punctuated itself
Right.
through legislation. And for me, every time I talk to him about going to visit my sister who was in Texas or going to North Carolina to visit my mom and my stepdad, he was like, "You be careful, don't go down no black back roads. You got to watch out for them white folks out there." He was extremely concerned about any time I end up in the South because he grew up in a time where it was, that. So I'm a West Coast kid. I was born in New York, but I grew up in Oceanside and Inglewood, California, and so all I know is kind of a mixed plate of ethnicities. I remember when I started realizing different races and shit. It's like, oh, there's Mexicans and Samoans. I thought the Samoans was just like me. I thought they was just like black and you know what I mean?
But they
But
are.
yeah, indeed. Yeah, but yeah, that's ill, man. And I also think it's funny that you was like not on some foundational Black American shit, but the Black American tradition. You know what I mean? The radical
Yeah,
tradition
yeah.
of Black Americans. Yeah,
Just had to make that
yeah,
distinction. I didn't want nobody to be like, "Oh, he one of them FBA." I'm not,
uh,
but our
yeah,
history
yeah.
does it does originate down here. And
Right.
again, just being a musician, being a touring man, and knowing that all the first circuits, Chitlin circuits, all that shit is
Yeah.
down here. All the history that's
Uh,
down here, and just wanting to dibble and dabble in it.
oh, that's ill. I know it was a big music town, and I know like that, but I just assumed that it was more. I don't know, hostile, especially these days in the United States. But I'm glad to hear it's not.
No, we got the National Museum of African American Music is here in Nashville, and they put my rhyme book in there, brother. Like
Hey,
it's a cool spot.
that's
It's a cool
fire.
little city. Yeah, man.
That's
I
fire.
really like Nashville, bro.
That's
Yeah.
fire. And you had it, and I know I heard earlier this year, and I'm sorry to hear, but you closed down Soul Folks, the
Yeah.
record shop. What
Yeah,
what
man.
what came with that? It was just too much to bear, or
Hey, man, going through some going through some poet problems, bro. And just sometimes you gotta cut a limb off just to keep living. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, what you gonna do? Drown, or you gonna cut your leg
yeah,
off? I'm gonna cut my
yeah,
leg off. So
sure,
I just had to let some folks go. I was going through it, 2-year custody battle for my eldest daughter, and just getting banged on, and
yeah,
how to say, like, I mean, for lack of better term, I got lied on, and my
right,
audience helped to fundraise for a person who was all the way in the wrong. So that kind of affected my money flow. And again,
yeah,
rather than fight the tide, I just went with it and was like, all right, cool, take the
mm,
shot. But I had it for like 7 years, so I wasn't too sad or nothing. I
right.
was like, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it's also a thing. Like I know physical art is coming back into the cultural zeitgeist. People pressing vinyl, buying vinyl, pressing tapes, buying tapes. So, having that record store in the early 2000s would probably be a bigger hindrance than it was a blessing for you. But yeah, that's
oh
I mean.
no, it was it never made like money. It was never a money making
Okay.
endeavor.
Yeah.
It was always something that was a labor of love, and something that, because I love this music, I wanted to create a place where this music could occur. You know, people constantly tell me rap is in a good place, and I just say how, because at least in America, it ain't no black owned places to do no rapping. What you talking about?
Yeah.
And so that was what I was trying to add to the ecosystem was, you know, something that was owned and operated by us. And some
Yeah.
people valued that and some didn't. But yeah, it was a time, bro. We had shit. I was just reminiscing with my partner yesterday about it, man. We had house shoes up in Soul Folks on Dilla's
Hey.
birthday,
Oh,
playing
that's fire.
unheard
Yeah.
Dilla, sharing stories. Like we done had some cold stuff happen in Soul Folks through the years that really was like, I can't put I'm seeing a miracle right now in my own
Word.
shop. So I take those treasures with me and hold them very tight. You know, Peter Augustin, MF Doom's former agent, he came to the first Soul Folks and gave me a beautiful signed Doom poster that he himself had watched Doom sign when he was his agent back in the day. Just so many like real
Beautiful.
pieces of our culture. So I could never be sad about it because it was a triumph, you know.
Well, all the things I've heard about people visiting it, you know, they held it. They felt like it was like an epicenter, like a magical, mystical place where it was just like you go in there and everything in there is ill. The energy is ill. I saw somebody post as I was kind of going through, you know, last few years of your life. I was going through the Reddit, and one person was like, "Yeah, man, I went there," and it actually was a post about it closing, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I went there and it was closed, but Rory saw me outside and." He invited me inside after, you know, it wasn't open, and let me buy some records and chilled and talked and chopped it up for a minute. So a lot of people held it in you know, high regard, especially I guess folks that were in that community, like in the area. You know, they go there, and that's the town
Oh,
hall,
bro,
so to speak.
it was like cute little light skinned couples going on first dates and shit in my shop, like digging for records and be like, "Do you
Yeah.
know Stereo Lab?" And like,
Oh
it
yeah.
was the spot, man. It was so
Yeah.
cool to again just hold that space for us, you know, and not like physical media is really moving or costing that much. So again, people just come shoot the shit, man. The second one, we was right by this legendary barbecue spot down here called Wits. So a lot of people pull up and we would get a turkey potato. That was kind of our thing.
Turkey potato.
Yeah,
I mean, I've
turkey
had
potato
potato and turkey, but what is it, like a baked potato with turkey on it?
with that smoked turkey on it. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fire.
our shit. That's our shit.
All right. You got any plans to like you know, bring back another shop, or is on to the new, on to the next?
Yeah, I got plans actually. My oldest son just put this idea in my ear actually, and I was like, "Damn, my guy, you're right on point." I kind of got ambitions to get in the movie theater.
Okay.
Yeah, like a
Okay.
little indie theater or something. My son was like,
Yeah.
"We need a movie theater." He about to be 9. I was like, "Oh, bro,
Okay.
you kind of cooking with that."
Power.
You're right.
Power.
Oh, you kind of
Power.
cooking,
Yeah.
son. I kind of dig that
Yeah.
idea. So that's honestly my next scheme is like a cafe movie theater.
Word. You know, I was when we was out here, when you was out here last time, you was posting up on the steps, and I was standing. I was like, you was talking to folks, and I was like, yo, that brother looked like Saul Williams, and I was like, that looked just like Saul Williams, and he turned to me, was like, I am Saul Williams. He was chopping it up with him and shit, and I was like, oh damn. What's up, Saul Williams? You know, like I geeked out on it. Like that's to me, that's usually
That's
I don't
beautiful,
geek
bro.
out on a major artist. But the second time, the next time I met him, he came out here and he was promoting his movie with his wife that he had released.
Was that
And
that Neptune Frost?
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
And we caught him at the after party after they viewed the movie, and we had a discussion about, you know, black independent art in cinema, and also we talked about you and Orko Elohim and Driver and Mike Ladd
Yeah.
and you know, all the greats and shit. But I think that one of the reasons he was down to sit down and chop it up with me for, you know, must have been a good 40 minutes. We was just building on everything, was because he remembered me from that time where you and I were together, and he was out there. So I appreciate you
Peace.
for that. And a movie theater sounds absolutely fire.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, brother. Yeah, Saul is such a cool cat.
Yeah, brilliant. One of our best, indeed. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that blew
Yeah.
my mind because he was there the whole time, and I we ain't see him, you know, or I ain't see him,
He was
and
there
he
the
was there the
whole
whole time.
time, and Boone
Yeah.
had dropped that that I will not rhyme on track. Niggas on the chain gang used to do that. And that nigga Saul walked up to me. He was boom and played that in the club. That nigga Saul walked up. He said, "This is the first time I ever recorded." I was like,
yeah.
he
Yeah,
said
that's
the
fire.
first time he ever recorded was that
That's
song.
crazy. That's crazy.
I almost
That's
sat down in the
crazy.
club, bro. I was like, the first. He
Yeah.
said the first time.
Yeah. I mean, man has been. He's one of the reasons that I kind of got more towards poetry. You know, a lot of times people equate, you know, in the '90s, you know, rap is poetry, you know, this and that, but it didn't. It was more
It
rap than it
can be.
was from. Yeah, it can be, but it was, you know, it's like there's a difference between Tupac's raps and Tupac's poetry in a way. And as I was, you know, young 16-year-old in '99, '97, '98 and shit, when I saw Slam with Saul Williams, it was like, oh, okay. You know, I heard him on the Lyricist Lounge joint, and I was like, that's cool. But then when I saw him on Slam, I was like, yo, black poetry's super powerful, and I didn't understand all this symbolism. And that's what caused me to go back and read some of the great black the great black writers and great black poets. It got me more into interested in what Anticon was doing back then, and in the tradition of, you know, the beat poets and shit like that. And yeah, fucking a movie theater cinema, black cinema, independent cinema, black poetry. Yeah, that's where it's at. That's absolutely where it's at.
Glad
One
you
of the
rock with it.
reasons I That's one of the reasons I fuck with you so heavy. Is like, you know, I've been following your career since you was getting cease and desist from Anticon and shit. You know, like I used to I was in the Bay, and I was, you know, I knew quite a few of those Anticon cats and shit like that, and was on the message boards back in the day. And I remember that tape was going around, and everybody on the board was like, "Yo, this Milo meets, what was it, Milo meets Baths
Milo
or something
takes
like."
baths. Yeah.
Yeah, Milo takes baths, and everybody's like, "This is fire! This is fire!" And then when we started hearing about the cease and desist, see, Soul was already separated from Anticon at the time, and we was on
Right.
a Soul board, and everybody's like, "Yo, that's some sucker shit!" Like he just, yeah, like that was like, just let it exist. You know what I mean? Like, but
Oh yeah, no, and
I get the logistics.
that was none of the big rap homies. Yo, shout out to the Anacon. It's almost like you got to make two distinctions of
Right.
Anacon. There's Anacon, the great rap conglomeration of beautiful, blessed minds, and then there's Anacon after that weird soda pop cat started kind of driving the show and making it
Sure.
like a I don't know, like a lo-fi beat laundering operation or something. He kind of turned it into something else, you know what I'm saying? But like Soul and Alias and Y and Pedestrian and
Yeah.
Dose One and all these great homies and cats, man. It's all love all the time to those
Yeah.
guys. But yeah, they hit me with the cease and desist. Well, I was still in the dorm room, bro. I was in the dorm room with the little shakes, like, what this mean?
Yeah.
What this mean?
Ain't got no chat
Am I in
GPT.
trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't got no chat GPT to be like, yo, how do I handle this shit? It's like, okay, I'm not
Nah,
used to
that was
Yeah.
2012, bro. Wasn't no chat
Damn.
GPT. I'm at the
Yeah,
crib like,
yeah.
so am I getting sued? What that mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I had to
Yeah,
take that shit down.
Yeah, but you know, when I talk about Anticon too, I'm talking about it, you know, early days when there was that my white Wu-Tang clan, so to speak. You
Yeah.
know, like there was all just incredible stylers with such an emphasis on challenging what it meant to create rap music, and
And
not
shout out to the
shut.
brothers who was part of that too.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know, like Getty Man and all them, you know.
indeed, and you know, like I think at the time there was a lot of cats who was really against what they were doing because I remember, you know, cats would be like, "Yo, these white boys are trying to make rap music without blackness," and I was like, I feel like they just making rap music out of their whiteness. You know what I mean? They're not trying to take the black tropes
Yeah.
and rock a do rag. They just like, yo, this is how we hear it, and that's why you had the, you know, Odd Nauseam would have the, you know, the folky guitar samples, and it'd be strange, and then you get the indie rock elements of it, and you know, a lot of those cats is super hip hop. Pedestrian is, you know, just to me like a wellspring of hip hop knowledge, and his approach, like he's like, yo, I'm about to make this rap album off of like sermons and shit, and I'm like, yo, that's hard, and you know,
They
yeah,
to
just
me are
amazing.
kind of like you know, like Tom Waits is to the blues. Nobody gonna say that that man ain't got it, you know,
Mm,
and they kind of in that similar vein of like, okay, so you white, but you paying the proper respects and you
yeah,
doing the diligence and you adding on. These are meaningful
yeah,
contributions. These are
right,
some of the only white rappers I still listen to. So it's like these are
right,
meaningful contributions to our craft, and we appreciate your service. But
yeah.
yeah, man. I feel like a lot of that done died down. Even from when I started to now, it seems like nobody
Yeah.
really tripping off that type shit.
Yeah, a lot of the youth has kind of no idea about that element. They talk about definitive jukes, but just like the blowed, a lot of the cats ain't really tapped into that stuff. That was for
Right.
a specific time and place. But I like seeing those heads get a little bit more attention. You know, Dose just put out an album, and it was like the first album that he had with a producer that wasn't jailed. That was still super rap, and I think he
Was that the
still
joint
got
with
it.
Dove?
And
Yeah, yo,
absolutely,
shout
yeah,
outs to Steel Tip Dove. That's my
yeah,
brother. Those
absolutely,
one
yeah,
is such a kind
yeah,
genius who
yeah,
immeasurable grace. Uh
yeah.
the first time I met Dose One, it was up in I think Seattle maybe back in like 2012, 2013 with my OG Reagan had took me on
Okay.
tour, and I was so excited to meet Dose One, man. And you know, I'm just a young rapper back then, broke as a yoke. And
Yeah.
he was like, "Yo, you want some weed, man?" I was like, "Oh, that'd be much appreciated." And
Yeah.
he had this tin, and he had he kept his greens mixed with some tobacco. It was all mixed up. And I'll never forget. He was like, "You fucking with the beef and broccoli?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, fucking with the beef and
Yeah.
broccoli." And
Yeah.
started spliffing that day because hanging out with Dose One. But yeah, shout outs to Dose One.
Always been kind. When I was just a young mustache, I must have been like 17 or 18 in Hawaii. There was like an all ages show, and Anticon came out, and they were performing at a strip club. It was it was
Hell
a,
yeah.
but they wasn't stripping in there at the time, but it
Oh,
was like
that
a strip
sucks.
club.
I was
So
like, "What?"
it's twerking to it's them and shit. Like yeah. But they was performing at a strip club, and I was just a young kid, and I had a little bit of money, but not very much, and
Right.
I had spent all of my shit on trees and everything the day earlier, and he gave me the Green Think blindfold tape for like $4,
Hell
and
yeah.
that was my first time really getting hip to Y, because Y hadn't really dropped anything. There wasn't no Reaching
Yeah.
Quiet, and that album, it still remains one of my all-time favorite albums. I played it. It was a tape, so I didn't break it up into tracks. To me, it was very cinematic, and with the things that they doing on that with the styling, I feel like a lot of cats ain't got that type of creativity no more with raps. You know what I mean? It's real fucking homogenous and insular, these stylers these days. And back then it was just like nobody ever touched this, nobody ever did that, and it was
That's that
fucking
Rust
wonderful.
Belt flow. Shout outs to
Yeah,
Cincinnati. That's that Rust
yeah.
Belt flow.
Yeah,
Yep.
that album is incredible. I try to put people onto it. I'll tell them about it, but then they'll never get back to me like, "Yo, that was fire." So I think I might be one of the only ones that see the light on that one. But yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
here we are together in this world while you study biology and I'm a poet artist here in God's State Trial. I'm trying to, yeah. It's just like they just bombing like so many poetry styles on that. Like, yeah, back then Anticon was something special, and being a West Coast kid, Anticon and the Blowed were kind of my connection to. It was a little bit different than Definitive Jukes, because I felt like the Blowed was deeply connected to, like, even though I didn't have the term for it, that black radical tradition. There was, there was a deep blackness there, and this avant-garde scene, this gangster avant-garde scene out of South Central LA was just unheard of. It was like you could be hard, but you could also be. They didn't even use the term conscious rap back then. You could be hard, but you could be about some real shit that was disconnected from the music industry in a way, and that's the
Well, that's
lineage I followed my whole life.
same, and that's that
Yeah,
historical part. And specific
yeah,
to LA, as you know, brother, is you had cats like Ben Caldwell with the Blow. You had cats like Horace Tapscott right around the corner with the Pan African People's
mm-hmm,
Orchestra. And this
mm-hmm,
sort of mind and consciousness, these things are always commingling. Shout outs
yeah,
to my big homie JMD, the
yeah,
original
yep,
drummer for Freestyle Fellowship. He
right,
connecting Mike and I, ACNM with the Horace Tapscotts. It's one thread
mm-hmm,
with the Michael Sessions. It's one thread,
right, right,
and
right,
making
yeah,
that ill
right,
poetic sound that's also combined with that power.
right,
um yeah, bro, you already know. And we can't even
yeah,
be talking about to blow right now, and not mention our guy P.E.A.C.E. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, I was going to get to that, man.
Yeah, man.
That devastated me. That devastated me.
Oh, bro,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Today I'm cool, but yeah, this weekend it's been a lot of calls and listening to stories. I've been blessed to be a high priest in this order, so God bless the dead and his passing. But I heard probably more unreleased peace in just the last few days than I had my whole life. Some of these
I haven't
songs are
heard any
so
new piece in a
beautiful.
minute. Yeah,
Oh my God, man. Some of the homies is pulling out old tracks that never came out. Like, oh my God.
yeah,
Yeah. Serious.
yeah.
Living forever, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Peace just an absolutely, like, there was something like that divine pink laser shine on that brother, and he like he something. Like, I was watching, I was going back and I was watching some of, like, there was a G4
Yeah.
freestyle, him just,
Yeah.
the way that he could just lock on to a flow and a groove and just stack and put words together. It was just like, it's something.
Amazing video of him and Dose One at the cafe or something on YouTube. That's one of
Yeah.
the best. Just the way they go in and the way they handling each other is so
There was just on it. They be like, I remember a lot of cats be like, "Yo, I ran into Peace on the street walking around Oakland, or ran into Peace on the street." He was just out there rhyming, and it's like, yeah, bro, like, he got it.
God
But
bless.
yeah, that video with Dose is amazing. Two incredible stylers who just, that's a real crazy fusion dance right there. The thing that kind of disappointed me a little bit is, I'm in some of these online communities, Discord. I don't do Twitter and stuff like that. I got Instagram, but I don't post or scroll the timeline much. A lot of the young homies who are really into this culture and really, they love it, and they're participatory people in the culture. They making art and stuff, but a lot of people don't know that lineage. They don't know Peace. They don't know Micah 9. They don't know AC. They don't know Self Jupiter.
Because they real black. That's the answer. They real black, bro. They real black. These niggas didn't play the game like that. They wasn't concerned with they still not. They real black. That's really what it, in my humble, not to cut you off, but I be noticing the same shit. Like, how y'all don't notice? And the answer is because,
and it's devastating too, because, so many people got their funk off of their styles, off of Freestyle Fellowship. So many people got their funk. I mean, even I remember when it's like, you hear early Driver, when Driver was first dropping, cats be like, yo, he trying to be like the Blowed, and I'm like, bro, he come from that. You know what I mean? Like, well, they would be like, he trying to be like that, and they would say the same thing about Dose. Look at him doing a double time sing song styling. They trying to. I'm like, bro, that's just the lineage. The progression of these styles takes. No,
but time, even Reagan told me that. Reagan told me that out of his own mouth the first time he heard Dose when he said, "Why the white boy jacking me?" He was like, "What's up with that? Why he jacking me?" And then they brothers now, so it's all good. But just studying at the feet of the masters and being told that direct from themselves, they was like, "Hold up, are they jacking us?" And then when they met him, they was like, "No, they showing love. They doing it the right way."
There's also clear, very strong distinctions in the approaches and in the content, and the styles sound similar, but huge, tremendous differences in the styles. But I remember that was a big conversation back in the day. They used to white boy those Anticon cats because they was white boys, but they used to white boy them boys hard. And,
definitely.
I used to be one of the only color folks out there at some of these shows, and it'd be like real weird and shit. But
I love. There's a video of Dose One online that I've watched that I think speaks to his heart as an individual, and he talking about battling. And I think it might even be speaking about battling peace and saying that he got to the place where he got to battle peace, like his hero. Yeah. And then he felt horrible.
Scribble jam.
Yeah. And then he said he felt horrible. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, I'm over here talking shit to the dude that inspired me to even pick this thing up. And like, I found that that type of, actual honest vulnerability, especially in this space, and coming from a white man, this was like, yo, that's wow. Like, you
he a real
really
one.
Are
he gets
hip-hop.
Into hip-hop.
Yeah,
he gets into hip hop heaven. Like there's questionable. You can question a lot of shit, but yeah, I wouldn't question Dose One getting to hip hop heaven. That man could grow a single wing. Like during that show, in Hawaii, like Jail's MPC had fucked up, so they did the whole shit a cappella, and it was just amazing to see Dose's vocal ability, his breath control. You don't get that ill just biting. That's a real talent. That's and I was like, bro, like I didn't know people could do that with their voices, and I hadn't
Oh
seen
yeah.
Fellowship live yet, and then it was like, all right, this is where it comes from. These cats is something else.
Oh man, the first time I record with Mike and Nine, I kind of wanted to hide after. Like I had already recorded my parts and stuff,
Yeah,
but to be around a man that powerful and talented,
yeah,
and I don't mean powerful in like the white man sense. I mean powerful in the like Raiden sense. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah,
He was just whistling and doing vocal warm-ups that
yeah,
I was
yeah.
I was just sitting at Kenny crib like,
Yeah.
bro, if I could do that, if I could do that,
yeah.
oh man. Yeah,
Yeah.
great
He's
masters.
a true elemental, man, like a real force of nature. Micah Nine. I champion him every chance I get, to the point where people be like, oh, Mega gonna mention Project Blowed on the video, Mega gonna mention Micah
God
9
bless
on the
you.
video, and
Oh, that's
yeah,
blessed sacred work
yeah,
then, because
yeah,
them brothers deserve it. They need it. And yeah, man, like people don't know Micah Nine's contribution, self jupe, and they be so kind now, man. Like these guys are so approachable and
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
There's no reason not to.
yeah,
So God bless you for
yeah,
doing that.
yeah,
If I switch this over real quick, try to take
yeah.
my laptop outside and puff a bogue real
Oh
fast
yeah,
while we
bust it.
doing this.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, hold on.
yeah.
All right, come
Yeah, I'll
on.
cut all this out. Yeah.
He said I got do that. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we actually keep it. I hate editing, so the easier it is for me to not edit is the way I like to live my life.
You know, that's how I do my raps too, bro. So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Minimal edits. I love that live improv. That's why I don't write raps. I only go off of the head. Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just one take, bro. I can't do the Detroit style. I think that shit sound cool, but I can't do it.
Yeah. What you mean, like punching in, punching in.
Do that
Yeah.
shit.
That used to be a transgression. That used to mean that you wasn't tight with it.
I was
Back
gonna
in
say
the
that
day.
too.
Yeah.
You know, my uncle brought me up on some.
Hold on, I'm losing the video here. Hold on. All
we
right.
on here?
I think you back. Yeah, you back now. Yeah.
True.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be quiet because I know you got the kids sleeping.
Oh no, you good.
All right.
They was on the other side of the crib.
Damn, you could take a walk around your house, man. Here in Tokyo, our shit, my house probably big as your living room.
Listen, bro.
Yeah.
Niggas talk shit about me, but I don't live like no rappers do. My house big, bro. I don't fuck with that.
Yeah.
My money did not go to drugs. It went to the house.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, with the punch-ins, that used to be a transgression. Now it's hard. I remember Cass was giving LP a hard time with all his punch-ins back in the day, and it was just like, all right, But that one take, that's still something special. Yeah.
Oh man, that's the whole key. And anybody who do music,
I'm losing you again.
hey, hold on. You there?
Right. Yeah. It just keep on cutting out a little bit. It's good now.
Now, yeah. All right. Yeah, no, the one take, bro. That's why I don't rap any other way. If I can't do a verse in one take, it ain't getting done.
Huh. Let me transition a little bit to talk about the new projects. Outstanding Understanding. I really love that one. One of my favorite songs of the year is on that. That Barbados Gooseberry Kiwi is my motherfucking jam. Yeah, that's my shit right there. True Love is Always Long Distance. The style yeah, bro. Yeah, that's my shit right there. I love that. And I'm still working on the new. I just purchased the new album last Friday when you dropped it on the Bandcamp. I'm still working on. I purchase all your albums. That's what I'd like to do. I got the streaming shit too, but I always hit the Bandcamp to put money in the, little snaps on the petrol, for the people and shit. But It's your, what is this? Your second full length project with Kenny?
It's
Is that
our
right?
third for real because
Our
the
third.
Jefferson Park Boys is his band, kind of. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So Purple
Okay.
Moonlight was really me and Ken too. Uh,
Okay.
so we consider it our third.
Okay. How, I don't even know where I want to begin because, like, I don't want to. I don't want to like interrogate your methods of making art or interrogate the bars. I do got some people who's asked. They in my chat they was asking me, can you ask Rory about this and that? And for sure I would do that. But in
Oh
terms
yeah.
of just creating these projects, like how do they go about? You just get a feeling and then put all the tracks together you've been working on at the time and boost it and drop it.
No, now that I'm older, I kind of got a whole little system, and I've been playing guitar for like the last 5 years, and that has changed my whole ear and approach to everything. Um, with this album, actually, Kenny said something really cool to me when we finished this album. He was like, "I think you pick my beats better than anyone else." And
Oh shit.
I was like, "Yo, thank you,
Yeah.
brother."
Yeah.
He was like, Kenny probably sent me 50 beats for this record, and the ones I picked are the 13 you're hearing.
Okay.
And he had like these ones. There'd be one or two in every pack that something seemed kind of weird or like off or wrong, and those were all the ones I gravitated to. All those ones.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I mean, for me, bro, like I had a whole tour get canceled, and
Yeah.
I just was stuck at the crib. I had no other options, nothing to do. So I was just asking my friend to send me some compositions I could, kind of start getting some of this shit out of me. At least I wasn't
Sure.
immediately sure that we were gonna put this out just because the stuff I was rapping about and
Yeah.
how it was coming out. I was like, this might just be one for me. I don't know. Maybe we never
Mm,
released it.
sure.
And to be honest with you, when I first finished it, I was just like, man, I still don't know if I want to release this because it's
Uh,
really good, but it's so personal.
right.
But then Ken started mixing it, and he spent a couple months doing that. And when he finished that, and I heard it, I was like, oh no, the world needs this now, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you came to that conclusion because so far it's super fire, and it is a thing that your music has always been personal because you put so much of yourself in it, but more so there's like an interpersonal element to these last two albums where you discuss relationship that you've had with women. You've discussed some of your hardships. At the end of Outstanding Understanding, there's that really lovely voicemail message from your mother. And to be honest, that's one of my favorite tracks too. I'll put that on and I just loop it. It's just something really beautiful. And as you know, I consider you a homie. We broke bread, we building and shit. And seeing some of the fallout and seeing some of the conversations surrounding your name because of these things happening in your personal life, I felt like, damn, like that's powerful. And my man going through some shit right now, and for some reason the whole world feel like it's their business to be a part of it too. And maybe it's not the whole world, but you know, I I just noticed that those things were in your music a little bit more. Was that something you noticed too when you were writing? Did you feel a way about putting that in your music, or?
That first of all, thank you for your incredible compassion with all this. But yeah, G, like my music's always been really personal, but I've always relished that I could hide behind the poetic. And so I could make it personal to me, but you might not know what I'm talking about. I like that. And with these last two albums, that obviously isn't possible. Folk knowing what I'm going through. So they knowing something a little weird chestnut before that might have flew past you. Now you kind of like, oh shit, that's kind of heavy, dog. And it's like, yeah, they've always been kind of heavy, but you just didn't know what I was talking about. And the other aspect of that too is like, man, it gets deep, bro. Like I started rhyming from a dorm room, just on a dream. I had no idea that I would ever even be here, which isn't to say I'm anything, but just living off my craft. I never thought I'd get to that place, let alone be at that place for some 15 years. And so, for lack of a better term, my initial music, the branding, there wasn't any, but the branding around it, my character, my presentation was this nerdy cat, because that's who I am. I am a nerdy cat. But that's not the whole of me.
Right.
And so through the years, people thought that nerdy cat was the whole of me. And there was a lot of my personal life I wasn't sharing with the audience because that's not important to me. There's certain things. Listen, I'm a black man from the south side of Chicago. There's certain hood and ghetto aspects of my life I didn't want to share with y'all. I really didn't,
Right.
you know. And like after I got my divorce, hey, a nigga was wilding, bro. I had a lot of girlfriends at one time, and it was a lot of fun and doing different shit and living in the alternative fashion, and that wasn't
Mhm.
anyone's business, you know. And then I don't know, all this stuff came out, allegations and shit, and it was all false. But I had to start explaining my lifestyle. It was like, how you got a house with baby mamas in it, plural? Like, what
Right.
the fuck? Who this nigga think? You know, all type of
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
that I had kept away because that
Hmm.
wasn't,
Yeah.
you know, like
Shit.
this whole.
I
Hmm?
remember when you told me you was like, "Oh, I got 5," and I was like, "God damn, how many kids you got?"
Right?
Like that was never anything in your music. You talk about, a child, a son, but that like I had no idea that you had so many. It was a distance between that. You're right. Yeah,
And
it was a
so the
distance.
thing was like after my first child and being married and getting divorced and stuff, I was like, I don't want this to be nobody business no more. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I had already made them songs about my boy, but I didn't want to keep doing that stuff because I already saw the audience. You know, sometimes they might even good natured, but just a stranger come up and use my son's real name and ask me how he's doing. Hey
Hmm.
man, I appreciate it, but I'm also a little scared. You
Yeah.
know, at the same time. And so just learning stuff because bro, I've had no training. I just
Yeah.
did this on a whim as a
Right.
19-year-old to now a 33-year-old, bro.
Yeah.
No manager, no label. You looking at the nigga who do it all. So uh, just learning as I go.
Yeah.
And yeah, trying to protect my family and keep that part hidden. And especially as I got more non-traditional where I had, you know, like a polyamorous lifestyle and stuff, and I got multiple baby mamas and all this stuff, and you know, niggas be rightfully roasting Nick Cannon because he can't even remember all his kids' names. That's fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I just
Yeah.
didn't want to be lumped with all this stuff. You know, I
Yeah.
wanted to be more like to be real with you to Phil Coran's like Hypnotic Brass Ensemble, if you know anything about them brothers.
Hmm.
Certain cats who's like on Nation Time stuff and really trying to like build something meaningful. That's what I'm trying to do with my private life. Um, so yeah, when all that stuff came out and I had to kind of start talking about it and letting people know a little more about who I am, that definitely became like, so how do I rap about this? How do I
Hmm.
do this? And something my daddy had always been telling me, man, like literally always, my whole rap career, my daddy would be like, why do you rap so nerdy? Like they gonna think you super, super nerdy. Like you need to
Yeah.
like there's other and I'm like, nah, that's my thing, dad. Like I don't all the other stuff is
Yeah.
boring. These are old
Yeah.
cliches. There hasn't been like a nerdy guy.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you know, and now just outgrowing that shit and rapping about real grown ass man life and trying to keep it poetic, trying to honor all the great gods that we just talked about, um, and age with some dignity in this thing. And luckily, I got Kenny to help me with that. But even
Word.
outstanding understanding, my brother Randall Bravery did most of the beats on that. And
Shout out to Randall Bravery.
man,
Hard.
bro's a
Yeah.
genius. He got it.
Yeah.
He got it. And to me too. I'm sorry, I'm kind of meandering now, but I
Now go
wanted
off. We just talking. Like
bless,
yeah.
bro. I wanted to do 2 albums to kind of tackle what I've been through because one, it was a 2-year process and it's all done now. Um, but the maternal and the paternal. You know what I'm saying? So to me, outstanding understanding is the maternal record, and that's why I had my mother kind of close it out. And you also hear my sweetest baby mama. She's the one in the beginning who you hear,
Okay.
and then you hear my mama close it out, and just approaching it, even the title, outstanding understanding. You know, that's
Mm.
kind of that maternal mind. You know, the way your mom, even when your mom's mad at you, she still hug
Mm.
you and kiss you and make you feel good. That's
Mm.
outstanding understanding. The night green side of it is the paternal side. That's a little more like belt to ass. That's a little more father is upset kind of
Mm.
energy. Um, and I just wanted to marry those together. I almost put my dad on this one, but I put my grandfather on it, my uncle and my son instead. But that was still just that paternal energy on this album.
Huh. Oh, that's good that you've still got those people in your life, and your mother is there dealing with these things because you not you're not a puff daddy. You're not a person who's a millionaire who has some type of incredible power dynamic over these people that are being judged against you. And so, like the legal issues, the eyes on you are a little bit strange. You're a smaller artist,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. No, niggas
you're a
love to
smaller
pretend like
artist.
bribing the judge, director, some shit. It
Yeah.
don't work like that.
Well, like in your and because of these issues and also your personality and shit, you real niggerish with it in a lot of ways, braggadocio, hard, it don't take no fucks, and you like to fuck with like you talk that shit, and that's what I grew up with. That Cass is like that. I understand that
Thank
you're
you.
not so bookish as like yeah,
But
and
we are though.
but
Like when I met you, you gave me a book. Like we are
yeah.
too.
I think that's one of the things that like my audience don't understand about me. Like they think, oh, Mega's he's a Pan African socialist, a Marxist. He always talking about reading theory. But I was like, yeah, nigga, I will still knock you out, bro. Like I've shot at people. I've been shot at. Like I've done, I've done bids. My family in jail. My family gangbanging and shit. Like just because I'm bookish and read and study and shit. Like I was a 5%er. That's what I thought all the black men was supposed to do. I thought I was joining a fraternal group of educators who wanted to change the world through our politics and spirituality. But I'll also still punch you in your shit. Like that's just how it got to be. And it's a weird dynamic when people get to start to understand that you are not a single thing, and there's a parasocial element with you because so much of yourself is on wax. People walk up to you and say your son's name, and it's like, wait a minute, like
I
calm
invited
down.
and I don't want to blame
Yeah,
nobody for that.
yeah,
'Cause I invited it, and I didn't know what I was doing.
yeah,
Being a kid, Twitter was invented. I think when I was like 16. I've been on it from the jump. And just broadcasting my life like that's normal
yeah,
to do. That's not
yeah.
normal to do. Uh,
Nah, that's why I don't be on there, man. I don't understand how y'all do it. Every time somebody send me a link, I scroll down a little bit more, and I'm like, this is the conversation y'all having on here.
I
Y'all got
probably,
black men and black women arguing about who had it more difficult on Twitter from this period to this. I'm like, that's too much for me. Like, why y'all enemies here?
I probably had more money if I was smart like you and never got on that. So.
Shit, I ain't got no money, so you know what I mean. I barely got enough. But I know that my audience and a lot of my homies and a lot of people, I've been, for lack of a better term, I've been going to bat for you a lot
Thank you.
over these last few things. In particular, I've been on Discord for like 2 years, and when the situation came out last year about you assaulting and trying to kill and also stealing the baby and everything, I'm looking at the court documents and I'm like, I know a little about court. It's like it say that he got custody of the kid, and it's a little bit strange that a woman don't got custody of the kid. And I understand like especially the ethical and moral impulse of a lot of people is to believe women. That's it's to believe women first and foremost. And that's my impulse too. But at
With
the
that,
same time, you got to understand that these are two dynamic people and the impulse is there, but you also the court of public opinion is not as solid as the actual court. And you got to let this shit play out before demonizing a person. And it did. I'm not gonna lie, because I was in that situation where I'm talking to people and they know me as like an ethical, I'm a Marxist. I try to do for the black community. I try to do for black women, the LGBTQ, my black brothers, my sisters, and my theys, thems, and everybody. And
yeah.
so I was like, I'm rocking with Rory. I'm gonna wait till the information come out, but just as a sign of good faith, let me put a little bit. I'm gonna put all of my money that I made off of my show, Discord money, on her books so she could have a fair day, since y'all seem to think she don't. So I think it was like $111 on those books during that thing. And from what I found out, I just lost $111. You
And
know what I mean?
hold up, I'll tell you because you put money on it. I feel you're entitled to this information. So, I got filed on me. I think it was a total of 7 orders of protection in 3 states, and this was a tool used to try to get me to not be able to get at my daughter because I had custody of my daughter, but you can finagle that if you lie a certain way, and that was a very critical type of lie. Now in every state, I beat those, got them thrown out, got it to where in North Carolina she owed me so much money they put a warrant out for her arrest. It's real life. Um, but she came to court the first time. Y'all gave I think some $11,000 with no lawyer. Got spanked in court. Then got a real big fancy lawyer, big time man, and he thought he was doing the Lord's work like y'all thought. And he came into court ready to roast my black ass. He had me up on that stand talking, boy. And it wasn't but 3 months later he dismissed himself for a variety of reasons. And you know, she just went through her fifth lawyer, still represented herself at the last hearing. We have a no contact order. That person cannot legally speak, see, be around my daughter.
It was that.
Brother, again,
what's the term? Toxic.
And like you said, how rare that is for a woman to be on that. And you know, it's just I get it. I get it. You know, these are heinous claims. It's a story that you kind of want to believe. It seems like okay, yeah,
right.
But that wasn't at all reality, and it was really heinous lies to try to sidestep the fact that this person is not a good parent, and the court had deemed them an unfit parent. And you know, it is what it is. But you know, there's like a couple felony warrants out for her.
That's unfortunate for all parties involved, and especially you know your daughter. It's unfortunate, but you know life is like that sometimes. It ain't all pretty, you know.
Yeah, but actually, right, exactly. And it's like, you know, I known this lady for over 10 years, bro. Like this is someone I really deeply loved, and having to process all this stuff out loud and in public has been such a trip. And even seeing people run to defend her has been a trip, because that used to be me in real life in a major way. And just being like, right, look at y'all fall in love how I did. That's how I felt, man. So I wasn't even mad, but nah, that shit, not none of it was real. But I think that's a very special thing that you did, donating and all that. And people got me messed up. It's like, oh, he was punishing anyone who believed victims. And to me, it was just how we use that word in our understanding. The true victim in all this is my kid, you know?
Right.
And having her privacy, her name, her face, all type of lies attached to her, you know, that's horrible.
On the internet forever.
Forever.
On the internet forever.
Forever. And not a word of that shit is true. And people debating her daddy and telling her daddy to die and kill herself. And motherfuckers, I don't know, somebody put my phone number out there. I started getting calls. One dude sent me a picture of my crib. You know, yo, man, it got real. So when
that's why you got to be armed. That's why you need weapons.
Bro, I am, and that's why when you see me online running my 4 miles every other day, I'm on my burpees. My shit ain't no joke to me, bro. I got 4 kids. These niggas be on here like, just I kill rapists, nigga. I'm coming to your crib. Okay, bro. Like, well, I'm not that, but you come to my house, it's up.
Yeah.
You know, and even touring, you know, people be talking all type of wild, and hey, man, I'm with all that stuff. I'm a child of rap too, and you know, even talking shit, bro. My first time I got jumped, I was 14 after a rap battle for talking shit. I've been this way my whole life. So,
you know, I'd be remiss to say that it was only that situation that colors people's perception of you. There's been a like I just, you know, Googling, you know, the soul folk shit online. There was like people in the comments like, no matter when your name is brought up, people's going to link to this woman said that he was manipulative, narcissistic, egotistical, and trying to fuck me while he was, you know, fucking somebody else and want to get me pregnant. Like there was a few, like there was 2 girls in particular there who was saying they had receipts about you being just a nasty, like a sex pest type of, not a sex pest, but like obviously they walked away from the relationship with you feeling victimized by those things. Like, what are your thoughts on that and how it plays into the perception of you, though?
My thoughts on that are you only ever heard about that when my child had been kidnapped and there was already a crisis afoot. People called me emotionally manipulative and then took advantage of the worst day of my life to add some emotional manipulation on top. And you haven't heard nothing like that since, because that's not true. And I have my own receipts that I
Sure.
haven't posted because that's not real. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and to throw that on the fire again when my daughter's been kidnapped, there's really serious allegations going on. Again, I've been subject to several police investigations. I've never been arrested. There's no
Mm-hmm.
warrant out for my arrest. There is a warrant out for the arrest of the woman who lied, though. And that's how I feel about that stuff. I've never been a sex pest. Uh, am I a wild nigga? Am I nasty in my private life? Sure,
Yeah.
but
Right. That's
again,
how I saw it. That's how I see it too. Because I'm the same in a lot of ways, and
maybe,
my
yeah.
relationship dynamic with my wife is very different than other people's monogamous relationships. And yeah, like the first joint that came out years ago, it was like, oh, this nigga just he getting his dick wet, he messing around with women. Like, is that devilish? Like, I don't know if I have the same moral imperative as y'all with this situation.
Well,
Like,
with the first shit with Reagan and stuff, that era, there was this whole misunderstanding because I had, and again, just talking about a nigga's nigga life,
yeah.
but I had met a lady on tour, and she got pregnant, and it was such a blessing. We were so excited, and you know, once I found out I was going to be a dad for the first time, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I didn't know what to do. I was 24 years old and I didn't know what to do. So it seemed like you get married, and we didn't know each other so good. Again, we had met on tour and things had moved fast, and we having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
But let's try it. Let's do the best we can,
Mm-hmm.
and we did that in good faith. And it didn't work out, but my ex-wife is super dope, and um, even that, the weirdness of that. So
Yeah.
my daughter's mother was never my wife, but people kept saying my ex-wife and calling her my wife. She was actually never my wife. My actual ex-wife, we don't have no problems. And again, I
Oh,
got
word.
other baby mamas, we don't have no problems. I've been in several non-monogamous or poly arrangements and all this kind of stuff. And again, everything was on the up and up. Everybody knew what was going on when it was going on. Um, when a relationship ends, obviously, you might always have something you could say about the
Sure.
other party, but why would you? You know?
Yeah.
And I'm in the public a little bit. I'm
Mm-hmm.
in fire, some shit's going on. So you taking this opportunity to add on top, I find that to be emotionally manipulative. And so that to me was just like the very blind sort of hypocrisy of that. It was like these other women, one, two, whatever, however, saying like, oh, he you know, isn't ethical. Well, is it
Yeah.
ethical for you to take this time when my kid's safety is on the line?
Yeah.
You literally fundraising for a person who was deemed by a professional therapist to be an unfit parent, and you don't know that because you're just on the internet looking at pictures, listening to thrilling stories, and wanting to be a do-gooder, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. But I'm a
Right.
real dad, and I'm really ready to die for my children right now. No hesitation. Like I love my kids more than I love myself, and I'm not that dude. I never um, harmed a woman or a child in my life, and I never will. And I'm super open to any inspection by anyone.
Yeah.
And when them people came, hey, come into my life. DCS, the police, like you don't get to get full custody of the little girl from the mom and not have them put a flashlight up your ass. I assure you.
Right.
Looked
Right.
deep into my anal cavity,
Right.
bro.
Right.
Like the people have been all over my life and my house
Yeah.
and everything. I'm not that dude.
Mm. Well, I appreciate you being so open about it, especially on like a public platform. I know you an open book to it, but it's got to be hard to deal with this type of shit in public. You know what I mean? And you
I
you're
think
not
it's hard
some you're
shit,
not some yeah you're not some real money nigga who could manipulate the system through your money to the point where they they give you sole custody to a mother who's capable of taking care of their kid. You know, like they would really have to. It's a real thing to not have a woman get custody of their kid, and it ain't just because the father got a little bit of money. It has to do with other factors. So I appreciate you, laying that out. Are you still? This is a little bit too forward. Like you learned from dealing with these, polyamorous relationships, these open relationships?
I
Are
love
you?
you, nigga. I love you. That's a great question. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been learning, bro. I've been reflecting on my life, and you already know, long calls with mom late at night, uh, just thinking about life. And part of it
Yeah.
is too is just I can't say anything other than it's a poet life. I live differently than you in every way,
Yeah.
and that's not wrong or right. It's just different, and I'm willing to try something that maybe you wouldn't, and
Hmm.
I'm able to express that in a way that you can't,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean I'm evil. It's
Yeah.
just different. But I'm trying to think with the big head and not the little one. Nigga.
Yeah, that shit got me in trouble a couple times. Nothing. I'm not. It was. I was talking to Curly Castro the other day. Sometimes you got to really go back and
Shout
and
out to the
and
bro,
and
Curly Castro.
shout. Yeah, that's my dog. And we was just saying, like, in this world and in this day and age, it's like you really have to be careful about these kind of spontaneous relationships, because there is, like, people use therapy language to describe, the most simplest of experiences. Like, yo, I felt this way because a person said this, and it's just like, yo, like, my skin a little bit thicker than that. I just really can't, it's like you really got to inspect yourself. And he was saying, like, yeah, if you're gonna get your dick wet, like, meet that person and come back to it next time the tour come around, just so there's a little bit more relationship, because
Nigga,
niggas getting in trouble these days.
none of my in troubles was like that. Like
Mm,
I known this one lady 10 years. I known all these like years and years,
yeah.
man. It ain't. I don't even do the casual thing, bro. I'm not a
Mm,
casual cat at all. I'm again. You can see how I talk. I'm hella weird.
yeah. You a romantic. You a
Yo,
romantic
yeah,
type.
like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see some kid out after all this happened. I went on tour. I went on the live. Some dude was like, you look, here come the guy who loves titty milk or something like that. I was like, all right, bro. Like I don't know.
I
Yeah,
mean,
oops.
have you tried it since you was a kid? Because it ain't too bad. I'll be thinking about getting my wife pregnant again, just for that nostalgic taste. That's how I feel about old top ramen packets. I live in Japan with the best ramen, but sometimes I need that Maruchan with that MSG, that 19-cent pack. Yeah, if you know about titty milk, maybe you can speak on it. But get
Hey,
yourself some titties.
that part. Ah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy and interesting, and every time the times that we kicked it and talked, this time and the last, like, you're a very humble and down to earth person, but people seem to online you be really with the shits. I see some posts about you online, and you be like, that's my son, and that's like, yeah, nigga, that's hip hop, but yeah, you be like, people have a perception of
oh,
you because of that too, like, you know.
I don't know why that uh, comment triggered the response it did or whatever. Um, Especially after what I've been through. I, maybe wrong, maybe right. Like I felt like I'm in a guild. I felt like if we all, player partners, I've helped niggas put money in their hands, put niggas in positions to win. That's undeniable. You can't argue that. Then I didn't do that expecting no blessings on the back end. But again, I'm thinking, yo, a member of the community is going through
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
I would be I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed. You know, like I felt like niggas didn't have my back for real, man, and cats who know my kids didn't
Yeah.
call me, wasn't making sure, like niggas who know I don't have another hustle, bro. I don't
Yeah.
have another job. I don't got another
Yeah.
way to pay no bill.
Right.
So silence is killing me right now, man. Like
Uh,
where my homies at,
yeah.
and just feeling like, okay, so if you not my homie, nigga, and all you've ever been is someone I helped, you must be my son. Cause that's how I feel. And
Mm,
if niggas feel a way about it, so be it. Your fans are active, that's what's up. Blessings
yeah.
to you. But I'm I'm not like biting my tongue about that stuff.
Right.
You know, I thought we was really down, and I
Yeah.
learned differently going through some real shit. And you know, the raps ain't hitting the same no more to me, nigga. The sound ain't the same to me no more. And again, I was there. I know the history. I know that I might have been the reason Kenny and Billy first was in a room together. For real, the opening of Soul Folks might have been the first time they was in a room together. You
Yeah.
know, and that's amazing. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to discredit nothing. I'm trying to
Yeah.
say, brother, I'm a member of this community and I'm going through something, and I've helped build something too.
Yeah.
And if you want to pretend that I haven't, unfortunately, I gotta bark at you because there's no one
I
else to
can
do it.
imagine.
There's no
Yeah.
one else to do it. There's no other archive. You know, you're gonna
Yeah.
say what you think, and I'm gonna say what I know. And these aren't the same. And I know we can all hit tweet and it looks the same, but they're not the same. And my opinion on this shit comes with a lifetime of doing this. I have never had another job. I have never worked a side hustle. I have never sold drugs. I have never pimped a woman. I have never done nothing but push my pen and pay every bill in my life and in my children's lives with that. This is all I know. And that experience does equate to expertise. And I have had privileged conversations with the, you know, big, big creators, the geniuses of our field, and learned at their feet the history. And so, you know, it, it's how I feel. Obviously, I can't be their fathers in real life. Both these brothers is over 10 years older
Older
than
than you. Yeah. Yeah.
like even
Yeah.
that, it's like obviously there's some element here of humor,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Right.
you know, people just go
Yeah.
straight for some reason with me. It's like, oh, he's on the
S-
attack. It's like
Right.
there's a humor,
Straight faced, egotistical narcissist
right?
bars. Yeah.
It's like, bro,
Can
they
I
can't.
smile some?
You know what I'm saying? And I get
Right.
that my delivery here, you can see like I'm a convivial cat, but on Twitter you might just be hearing it with like a monotone flow or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck. But
Yeah.
it's like, man, I'm saying this shit, I mean it, but it's
Yeah.
also just like I don't hate them
Yeah.
brothers. I
Yeah.
don't have no ill will to them. It's not like, oh man, they no,
Yeah.
it's nothing like that.
How could you do this to me?
No,
Yeah. You
yeah,
know, like,
nothing
yeah.
like that. I just kind
Yeah.
of thought we was all player partners. I thought we
Yeah.
was like more than we were, which is that's on me, you know.
Yeah.
And again, at that time, especially just the way the questions was coming at me and stuff, I just was like, yeah, fuck it. And I hit that shit, and I was with my pops that day, and I was like, oh man, I done called some rappers my sons. They wilding today, boy. And he was
Yeah.
dying laughing, like he just thought that was so funny. Like people are really mad about that. I was like, bruh,
Right.
it's going on and on.
Right. Well, you talking about some of their favorites, the people that they champion, and so they're like, I like his music better than his music. How could we do, like, yeah, this album was on pitch, this is gonna be a whole thing, but it's got to bother you, like whenever, especially when allegations come out, the call out culture, the Me Too situations, people become radioactive, and they want to separate. Like, look what happened to Gaslamp. Gaslamp Killer. The allegations came out, and it was like this nigga had cooties, and everybody just kind of disavowed him immediately. And it's gotta hurt in a way when your people that you felt like you was in a brotherhood with, and in this together, kind of, even if they don't come out and distance themselves from you, just them doing that, and doing it to you in a personal space has got to be disappointing. Disappointing.
Yo,
And
when
I
I
could
tell you
see how
brothers
you
who
feel.
have been to my mom's house, open my family cookbook and copy recipes out of it, did not check on me, man. That
That's
shit
sad,
just
man.
affected me a little bit, bro. Like, okay, right, I
Well,
got
I see Hemlock on the new joint. I see Suede God on the new joint. You
these are
working with
mine.
Kenny. You working with Kenny, and so I've even heard that people online was like, "Oh no, Kenny's working with Rory. Why would he do such a thing to me? Like, why would he do that? That's terrible." But it's good to see that your people who know you are
I don't think
still.
people know that I officiated Kenny's wedding.
Oh shit.
I
Yeah.
married my brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like again, I thought I had this with other people too, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's some people who Kenny, Hemlock, Eldon, Sway. Yeah, man. I mean, I thought these guys were my brothers, and they are my brothers.
Right.
And you know, when shit popped off, Kev, Nick Oliver, these are
Yeah.
people who immediately called me, immediately asked, "Are my kids okay? Is the
Yeah.
baby okay? What's going
Yeah.
on? Is the baby
Yeah.
okay?" You know, in a major way, who keep following up, who keep asking, "Hey, y'all good? Is things
Yeah.
normalizing?" Who,
Yeah.
you know, found opportunities. Yo,
Yeah.
Chesky,
Shout out to Chesky. Yeah.
my brother, my big brother, looked out for me in a major way. Certain people who, and they not even, you know, online like that. They not even
Yeah.
making it a big deal like that. I am, because they really, yeah, they blessed me, man. Like Hemlock, Chesky, certain cats really kept top eye at all times for me, and I'm so blessed to have that fellowship with them. And
Yeah.
you know, like I said in the beginning of the conversation, I'm really splendid now because I almost, like the song said, my cipher is complete. I know who is here for me now, and I
Yeah.
know, you know what I mean. I can really start rocking now, and I can really
Yeah.
cut the bread up and feel quite content, because everybody around me is so special, and has really, and gone above and beyond. But yeah, certain people I miss, and certain great art and collaborations that came from stuff, and you know, certain, we in a new era now. I say it like that. Like this event definitely is a moment in time and shit. We can't go back, you know. But ultimately, it is music, and it's not violence or real to me in any
Yeah.
capacity. I don't wish anyone harm. I don't wish my baby mama harm. I don't wish nobody harm in this
Yeah.
scenario at all. You know what I mean? I really don't. The crazy internet people and the, you know, all the stuff they say. Like I'm with it. I'm talking shit, but I'm not like thinking, I'm not harboring hatred towards you. You know what I'm saying? I am working out. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Like you said, I'll be at the range, bro. Yeah, I'm, again, all that shit. I hope to never have to use none of that.
Yeah. But you gotta stay ready. Yeah. You gotta stay ready. You
Exactly.
gotta stay prepared. Yeah. I
Exactly.
feel you. Thank you, G, man. And like, it's been weird for me. Like I've been in so many like debates and with people that I know and love, and they just have a different position about you than I do, and have different morals and ethics about things. Like I'm like, if you don't care for the nigga, and you feel like he's got this habit of doing things that you don't fuck with, like don't fuck with him. But it also don't mean you got to tear my man down all the time. His name come up, just let it be. Like, and I know a lot of people probably who fuck with me. They're gonna see me rocking with you, even though I've said it multiple times. That's my dog. That's my dog. They're gonna see me rocking with you and feel a way about me as a person because maybe I'm an enabler now, or maybe I'm part
Yo,
of that thing,
can I
and
say
I,
something
I
to
can't
that?
care. Yeah.
Okay, word. Yeah,
Oh,
I just,
you gotta plug your other mic back in, maybe, because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I'm about to
yeah.
do that right now, dude. I'm sorry.
No, all good.
Niggas going. Niggas is going. Be back on. Hold on. You said the other joint.
Yeah. Hello.
Yep. How you doing?
All right, there we go.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Yo, I wanted to say something about that. That right there is the worst part of what I've been through. Um, for me, beyond what my daughter has suffered, um, is the fallout my friends have had to experience. That is super undue. And you know, at the same time as wishing some cats had come to my defense, I do understand why they didn't. And some homies who wanted to really bang, and I was like, you know what? I think you should be silent.
Mm,
Because I
mm,
would hate to see something bad come to you. I would hate to
right.
see, you know what I mean? Certain
Yeah.
homies of mine who was like, yo, man, I'm ready to go crazy. And it's like, I
Yeah.
appreciate that so much. But if something happened, I would hate to feel like it was my fault,
Sure.
you know? And so I just got to say, I'm sorry, dog. Cause, yeah, that sucks, man. And I'm not someone who, takes that lightly, bro. Like I think
Yeah.
that's super whack. But if anyone, you know, wants to make time or space to actually do the knowledge on this situation and look into it, and you'll find nothing I'm saying is a lie. um, i'm 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 a bit uncouth. I live different from you, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not like a fucked up, twisted dude by any means, man. And I'm a father. I'm a lover of music and life. I'm a friend. I'm a son. A brother. You know, all that shit.
Yeah.
My, that's what's important
Uh,
to me.
hey, I mean, I'm glad. I'm glad that you've come through this situation feeling, maybe reinvigorated. Is not. I don't know. Hopefully, there's a weight off your shoulders now, in some sense. And I'm gonna continue rocking with you and rocking with all your music and shit like that.
Thank
I
you.
don't wanna. I don't really wanna like I said, I don't want to Barbara Walters this shit and really try to get to the bottom of it like that. But I would be remiss from myself because I'm the type of cat that's like if I hear about it, I'm not going to keep it under my breath. We had New York Public Housing out here and Obi-Wan out here a couple weeks ago, and I heard the same type of allegations about P.E.A.C.E. So being the motherfucker that I am, I was like, yo, what's up with that? Like, you want to let me know what's going on because that's what people telling me. I'm not trying to judge you, but you understand that that's out there. And he laid it out for me, and Obi-Wan, they both came together, and I was like, all right, that's cool. I'm the type that I'm gonna say what I need, like what I feel I need to say. I'm not gonna hold my tongue on some shit. But I don't want to. I don't want this conversation to just be about, navigating these personal difficulties for that you've been going through and shit. It's also a time to kind of rejoice and feel good about the new music that's coming out. I was real happy to see you and Kenny working together again because again, a lot of people feel like you radioactive, and I'm sure that a lot of these people worried about their money getting fucked up if they voice, shit for you. But the new Kenny shit fire, bro. Like
Hey, thank you.
you're one of my like I've said this multiple times. Like in the past, my favorite MCs of all time, probably, I love Dose, but Driver, I've loved Driver since like 2000. I've loved Aesop since like 2000 as these rappers and shit. And over the last, 10, 15 years, my personal favorites have been like you and Cavalier, and there's a few others and shit. And I'm always excited when your new music comes out. And yeah, I still think you one of the goats. And like I told you
Thank
when
you.
we was rocking it, I feel like you one of the last Blodians out that have that ethics, that have that 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 funk, that jazz, that
Thank you.
that I don't know, happy accident, that wonderful. And I'm a big fan of the general approach to what you doing, man. Like what you were accomplishing with Rubiat. There's a lot of artists on there that I see come out and they're dope too. How's Rubiat been? Is it still going? Is it still jamming? It's like, what's up with Rubiat?
Ruby is great. We're obviously in a restructuring period. Um, but we're
Yeah.
great, just figuring out what it is we actually want to do. I've been rapping a long time and I'm gonna keep rapping, but I've got other ideas and we're learning ways to execute. We did this auction for outstanding understanding,
Uh,
and that's like my first time kind of dabbling with programming and launching something interactive with the art. I went through a bunch of bullshit to make that album, so I made a bunch of bullshit you got to go through to get the
bet,
album.
bet,
And
bet.
just that experience. And I've been working on a video game that has no graphics. It's just a old school mud
The
text
the
based.
text. Okay.
Yep, I've been
Yeah.
working on
Walk
that
into the
for.
forest.
Yeah,
Walk into the
right,
forest.
right. To
Keep
the
walking
left
north.
is an
Yeah.
entrance. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I've been
Yeah.
working on that shit with my pops for like a year, 2 years now. Shit. So we hoping to put that out with the vinyl for a night green side of it. Um, we'll come with this game that's pretty ill. So that's kind of what we're doing at Rubia right now is branching out into other realms and figuring out how to make our ideas more I don't know, more enthralling. Again, rapping is great at all times, but it's not necessarily always the most effective way to reach people, or at least for me. And so yeah, learning the blues, that's been a big one, and now it's kind of gotten to a place where I can't serve two masters, and I don't
Mm.
really want to. So I think I'm gonna do the blues stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's under the Crow Billiken. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah. Crow
Okay.
Billiken.
Okay,
Yeah.
that name is hard.
Thanks,
That
dude.
name is super hard. But
Thanks,
okay,
dude.
so one of the homies asked me on a thing. He said, since we're kind of in a reality where we're receiving all the blues frequency in our lives, is there a kind of budding possibility of like a Rubaiyat orchestra, like a blues band, like a what like
Oh yeah,
you
I
know what I
love
mean?
that question. Yeah, no, in a major where there is now, I've met so many great musicians playing guitar. Yeah, that's a big possibility, and I'm trying to put
Okay.
together my own blend now. I'm looking for an organ player and a bass player, and get it jamming. Um, yeah, no, definitely, an orchestra would be great. That's a great question. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's definitely where we're headed. Rapping is something we all love and do, but we're getting more expressive.
Okay. Well, I hope you never put it away. I mean,
Never.
you can
I
do
could
what you
never.
do, but yeah,
I could
yeah,
never, bro. I could
yeah,
never. Don't even trip. I could never. But
yeah.
I do want to be honest, like especially getting this one off with Kenny. I got a couple more that already done. So there's still some more
Mm.
shit that'll come out that's fucking incredible. Chess did a whole album that's fucking unreal. Rose Noir and I got a whole album done that's unreal. Rod Washington and I got some shit in the clip. Goddamn Chan and I got some shit in the clip. I
Oh,
again
word.
spent the last while just
Okay.
so there's raps to come for quite a while, but I'm letting that kind of do its thing, and I'm really going in on the blues and just been writing and playing, and that's where my focus is. So I just don't want nobody surprised when I pop up on the motherfucking you know blues circuit doing some
Yeah,
other
yeah,
shit. Like what? Like nah,
yeah, yeah. I
going
remember
hard on
hearing
it.
about niggas was surprised they came to the show and you did the blues and it was like, what happened? Yeah, I remember hearing some shit about that.
Yo,
But
man,
yeah,
some
don't.
cats was
Yeah,
really it was great. It was like when Art
yeah.
got fun, man. Did a show up to man, I think it might have been Portland, Maine, man. Motherfucker in the crowd said, "You gonna play blues all night?" And I was like, "Yeah, I might, man." And he goes,
Yeah.
"Well, then I'm leaving." And he turned around and walked out. I
God
was like,
damn.
I thought that was
Yeah, I
so
mean,
cold, man. I thought that was ill, bro. Like I've
nah,
never
that's
had
pretty
that
hard,
effect.
actually. Yeah, that's
Like,
pretty hard.
wow, wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, "Oh shit, we got something new." But I mean, I appreciate man's forthrightness. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
he's
I
just like,
loved it.
yeah,
He said, "Fuck
yeah,
that shit. I don't want to hear that at
yeah,
all." And I like
yeah,
when lines are drawn like that. And
yeah,
again, I want to be communicative. I've learned, that's when people get upset when they don't feel it was communicated right. So it's like
yeah,
just trying to be honest.
yeah,
Blues is taking most of my focus, and gladly, but I got so much rap that's still left to come out that it
yeah.
feels like it's cool. Like it ain't no trip. And I'm not quitting rap by any means. By any means.
When you're writing songs, you've through your career have multiple monikers, and your
Yes,
blues
sir.
moniker is even different than your real name, your current name even.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a difference between the writer that is Crow Billiken and Rap Ferreira in the same way that Scallops Hotel is different and Milo is different? Because even on the new album, it says featuring Milo, and I was like, there ain't another Milo, right? This is just another aspect of you on that track.
So
Can you
that
explain this a little
one
bit?
I'd
Yeah.
love to. Thank you for asking this question. I'll start with the Milo one. The reason that says feature a Milo is because that is the truest way we can describe that song. In the after the pause of that song, when you hear like dueling with good intentions, it's easy to doubt yourself. I wrote that and spit that when I was 22 years old in Los Angeles, California, living in a garage. And that was maybe the first time I ever recorded with Kenny Segal was that verse. And
Okay.
like the first time for Soda Flies Don't Come, we had recorded
Mm-hmm.
for like Reagan and some other shit, but this was like, hey, I think we should make something, right? And that
Mm-hmm.
was the first time. And it was crazy. I'm gonna tell the story, and I hope Ken don't mind. Uh, I spit that and I wrote that at the laundromat. I remember I was so amped, and I spit that verse, and Kenny turned around and he said, "Hey man, the idea is to be inspired by Freestyle Fellowship, not bite them." And I was like, damn. damn. And so
Yeah.
we never used that song because he felt like I was trying too hard to sound like Micah 9. And so I was like, okay, fair enough. Like, let's do
Yeah.
some other shit. So we just moved on.
Yeah.
And so then when we were
He hit
making
you
this,
with that. He hit you with that. You going freestyle fellowship all night? Well, I'm
for real,
leaving.
straight up, bro,
I'm
straight up.
leaving.
Straight up. And again,
Yeah.
it just speaks to real
Yeah.
creative friendships because when we're in the studio, that's actually how we talk to each other. Like some people be like, man, Rory a prick. Listen, in the studio, Kenny will turn around and be like, the idea ain't to bite Micah 9, homie. And
Yeah.
I'd be,
Yeah.
my bad. Oops. And
Yeah.
then we go on. And
Yeah.
so that's one that laid on the cutting room floor for 11 years.
Okay.
And so we pulled that out. I had hit him up and was like, yo, you still got that one joint you said that I was kind of whack on? He was like, let me find that shit. So he went and found it and was like, hey, actually, you ain't even whack. I was kind of hating. It was like, yo, that's so
Yeah.
funny.
I was gonna
So
say
we
that's
were
just hard.
right.
Yeah.
So then it was like, well, yo, let's use this. So the original beat that I had rapped it on became Respect Due. So we had
Okay.
already used that beat for something else. So Kenny was like, well, I'll make a beat. And he put some shit together that was so cold and it sounded great with the old verse. And then I was like, all right, I want to write a response to that young man who, you know, I just dropped out of school. It's like the first year chasing my dream. I literally living in a lady's garage to do such. Like I'm shitting at the cafe. The garage don't have no bathroom, so I'm like doing stuff like running them kind of missions and just rapping, trying to rap, and get my dream off. And now in this weird place where it's like, I know my story don't end here, but I don't know how my shit gonna go. But I have spent the last 15 years really doing this and just speaking to that moment. And so the quickest and easiest way to describe everything I just said is to say feature Milo. Because it was like, that's not me. That's not me no more. That young man you hearing and all that, that's not me no more. I want to speak to whoever's in charge and tell her I'm doing the best I can. Like, oh my God, that's so heartbreaking. This young man who he don't even know what's coming.
He don't know what's coming. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and just that feeling of like, wow, good job, young dude.
He don't see that whirling dervish.
No,
that's just he gonna get spun. He'll figure it out.
And
I remain
awesome.
optimistic.
And even that verse, writing to the younger self, I know there's gonna be an older me that hears that and is like, oh, and that nigga thought he knew, you know. And I hope that is clear from the song of just like that's the joy of this poet life is these moments of reflection when you get to sit down with your pen and pad and put that down and really just say, wow, that's my story. That's incredible. I didn't realize it had come out that way, but I'm not even mad about that.
Yeah.
As to the other name, Scallops Hotel, not a name I use so much anymore because it started as a joke. One of my best friends is Braden Morgan. He goes by Nedarb Nagram. He's world famous producer for, you know, like Lil Peep and Xavier Wolf and all type of shit like that. We went to college together. He helped me book my first tour. We moved to LA together. Thrax house, like I lived in the Thrax house and with Lil Tracy and MacNed and Kenyatta and Bolo Neff and all these cats. We all lived together, bro, in LA. People don't know none of this shit. But yeah, so Scallops Hotel was like what is his name? Clams Casino. That was like Braden's like favorite producer when we was kids. He just loved Clams Casino, and I did too. And I was just like, I didn't, you know, we broke. We not from nowhere, bro. I didn't know that was some food. So I thought he had himself made up an absurd name, Clams Casino. So I was like, oh, I'll be Scallops Hotel then. Like,
I
whatever.
don't know why I never put that shit together. It's
Yeah,
like, I just didn't think about it. No shit.
Yeah, it was just a complete joke driving around with the homies, just giggling like, yeah, Scallops Hotel. So I just did that. And then when, you know, the money started coming in and it was like, oh, I guess that's my beat maker name. Like it just started as a fucking joke. And I haven't used it too seriously in a while. Again, I'm making music still, but that was just more of like a training name almost. It's like it was supposed to be like you read that name, you're like, I don't know if I'm supposed to take this serious. And that's what I wanted. I just needed some room to learn because again, I've never had another hustle. I don't have like a trust fund. I'm not from wealthy parents or nothing. So for me, the success in art has been if I can appropriately describe and categorize my work, then people buy it. You know, as long as I put it in the right place. If I try to make a Scalps Hotel record, a Milo record, people get mad and tell me you fell off. But if I communicate that it's a different thing, they go, "Oh, it's a different thing. That's dope on its own right, and it's not to be compared with this." Oh, okay. You know, they understood better
Mm,
when I used the names. And also
mm,
there's the, you know, a bit of homage to the great man Doom in there, and just using different identities. And you know, he has a physical mask, and for me these identities are the mask, and like being able to swap in and out of these things allows me some agency that I like a lot, especially in the world. Like, you know, just being a black man, depending on who I'm talking to, I might say, yeah, I'm a blues man. Oh, is your stuff
mm,
on Spotify? Yeah, check me out, Crow Billiken. And that's it.
mm.
That's the whole conversation. They will never know that they talked to a rapper who was Milo. They'll just think a
Mhm.
blues guy. Or I'll talk to a hip hop cat and be like, yeah, check out my shit. If they're younger, I might be like, Milo. Yeah, I'm Milo. Check me out. Da, da, da,
Yeah,
da. Yeah, it's been a few years since I've done
yeah,
a release or whatever. You know,
yeah,
I'll just straight do it like that. And
yeah,
like
yeah.
I like having this multiplicity of ways to connect with people, and it just keeps it a little interesting. I don't have a big PR budget. I don't have a team. So it's like I have to find my little ways of like, why would he do that? Well, that's
Mm,
interesting, you know, just to
mm.
get you to dig a little. Cause
Yeah,
if I make it too easy or I make it like everyone else, then I won't be seen. I won't be heard.
yeah, yeah.
So
You'll be everybody else, just like
bro,
everybody else. Yeah.
right. So it's a little bit of that. And I don't know. Crow Billiken came about. My name is Rory, and my family all call me Ro. So I wanted a blues name that had what I consider my most personal name. Ro is like my most personal name,
Mm,
and Ro is in Crow, you know. And I
right.
like that animal bit. And Billiken just come from Chicago. The Bud Billiken parade was always my favorite
Mm,
parade, and so I just took the Billiken off the Bud Billiken. And even
yeah.
like the Crow Billiken logo's a little kid with a guitar. The Bud Billiken parade logo's just a little black kid. And
Yeah.
I just put them shits together, just Crow Billiken. And
Yeah.
uh, I asked my
Nah,
mom.
that
I
name is hard as fuck.
thank you,
That
G.
name is hard as
Yeah,
fuck.
I
It sound like some real bluesman shit. Like it
thank
sound like
you,
some Native American, like some
thank
real
you, bro.
man of the earth. You know. Yeah, that shit's
Yeah,
hard. I
bro.
love that
Thank you,
name.
G.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom blessed it. She was like the first person. She's like, "Oh, that's great." I was like, "Okay, mom's fucking with it. Proceed."
Yeah. Shout out to moms. No doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah. Man, I don't want to hold you too much longer.
I'm chilling, man.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I got the day off. All I got to do is I got to run my daughter to piano practice when she get off of school, and then
Oh,
Brazilian jiu-jitsu practice. You know, so it's
hell yeah,
busy over here.
dad.
Yeah, it's dad mode all the time.
Blessings.
And I'm off. I'm off on Wednesday, so it's lovely. I get to have this day with my daughter when she gets off of school, and usually it ain't like that because I work in the afternoon. So some nights I don't see her until the morning when I'm
Oh
getting her ready
man.
for school and shit. But
Yeah.
you know the vibes. It's difficult to
Yep.
balance some things, but yeah, that's
Yep.
my priority. Um, but yeah, yeah, okay, we just rocking. I got a question. I don't really know. My man Yeti asked me this. He said he wanted to know something about your song Medicinal Hymnal number 77. He said that there's a line on there that says, "Don't it seem like maybe the alphabet of the wind is footsteps? I clock in original sin for every footstep. The beat talk back, I talk in footstep." I guess he just want to know, like, where does that come from? Why is it so real? Why is it so amazing? I guess that's what he's asking. You recall that line and everything, anything about it?
Um, Man, well, shout outs to the homie, because that's awesome. First off,
Yeah.
just thanks for your ears and for them being tuned to that. That's super dope. All I can say is my understanding of poetry, it really comes from a cat named Jack Spicer, which is why on the new record there's the song Spicer and
Spicer.
I. You're listening to Jack Spicer talk, and he's a great poet, great poet, and he kind of talks about the poet as a radio or this receiver, just kind of getting these messages.
Yeah.
And he talks about words being furniture inside of ourselves, and
Mm.
these things are sort of manipulated and moved by the feeling or the spirit. And that's all I can say is it's a feeling for me, and that it guides me to these words, and I just pray that they have the same effect when they're heard by others. And so
Mm.
when somebody asks me that, I said, wow, so you can feel what I feel in that moment, but I don't know why either. I really
Huh.
don't know why. I couldn't tell you why those lines hit, but
Wh-
I'm thankful they feel them.
When when did you get into poetry? Did you get into poetry after becoming a rapper or before? Because I recall way back in the day, I feel like I heard somebody say that your live performance, you used to have a lot of things on the stage. You would kind of create your own space on the stage with furniture and things of that nature. So I'm just trying to connect this line from Spicer and that old approach, and curious, like, when did you get into poetry? Was it
Yeah.
before or later in your
Yeah,
career?
I mean, I've always been a fan of the soft things in life. You know, I like poetry and art and women. You know, these things go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Hanging out. We
yeah,
got friends who are girls and get into poetry, man. I don't
right,
know,
right.
meditation, yoga, all that
Yep,
type of stuff. You know, and
yep, yeah.
I would say, yeah, poetry has always been a part of my life, but I couldn't pinpoint when and where. And even Jack Spicer on my first tour, I met the homie Meredith, and she blessed me with the Jack Spicer, and it changed my life. Like that really
Mm,
changed my life. And I was so grateful. Some of the books people have shared with me, poetry books, have just been complete happenstance. Yeah, the homie Meredith
word.
gave me some Jack Spicer poetry in
Yep.
like 2011, 2012, and I had some of these feelings, but not the language, you know. And I'm so grateful to these masters who have lived and experienced and put it down, so that way I could build on
Yep.
it. And as soon as I read Spicer, it was like yes. And it was one of my first tattoos, actually. Wind, window, moon. I got it in my mom's handwriting, but that's a line from a Spicer poem. I got that shit before I could drink, bro. I was just like, this
Huh.
dude, like his again understanding. As to the stage show, yeah, that's that type of stuff used to happen out of circumstance. I'm an artist who's super into embracing whatever's going on. And like early on, to differentiate myself, I guess props was on my mind. And like you know, any venue always has a surplus of stuff that they don't even know what for, what nobody care about. And so I just would be like, well, that's my prop box. And in high school I did theater. All, you know, in high school I was in plays and musicals. So I'm comfortable with that, I guess. It's like, you know what I mean? Like I want some
Mm,
shit to play off of on stage. I like
right.
doing a little bit of stage design and set directing and blocking and getting my shit ahead of time. Like, all right, I'm gonna come
Yeah.
from over here and do this, and I like all that stuff. So it just is play to me, and a lot of times before the show, there's not anything to do. So I'm just trying to
Mm,
again always, how am I gonna be different? Because I'm not very talented. Like especially in the early Rubaiyat days, all the homies more talented than me. Everybody could
yeah,
play
yeah. You the
instruments,
young homie and
could
shit.
make
Yeah.
beats. Not even the younger homies was more talented.
Uh.
Again, like grew up in musical households and people
Mm.
had believed in them in their whole lives and shit. They had real talent. You know, I'm just like kind of clever. Like I'm
Yeah.
kind of cunning, and that's my superpower. So I'm always trying to be like, damn, like this nigga can actually sing. You can actually
Mm,
play an instrument. What am I gonna do? I gotta figure
yeah.
out. Yeah, bring the chair on stage, nigga. I'm gonna do some weird shit. Like, you know,
Yeah.
just trying to keep it funky, man. And
Yeah.
that's where a lot of that stuff came from, especially early on.
Oh, dope, dope. What type of shit you be into, like outside of music? You be watching movies, and I know, like on a new album, I heard you mention Kurt Vile, and shout out to
Yeah,
Kurt Vile. I love Kurt Vile and have for
yeah,
years now.
yeah,
And he's amazing. His newest shit got a joint on it. It's like just an instrumental. Oh man, so amazing. Like,
yeah.
what do you be into music wise? Cinema, books, poetry. What you been tapped into?
Man, I shit, you know, boring answer to blues. But outside of that, I listen to Kurt Vile a bit. I really like Steven Stills, man. I like
Okay.
Steven Stills music a lot if I'm listening to white dudes. Cinema wise, you know, I got that Criterion. Me and
Okay.
my baby mama will throw that on some from time to time. Just watch some weird shit. I don't watch as much stuff as I'd like to, just because with four kids, you know, it's a lot of whatever they on K-pop Demon
Yeah.
Hunters, whatever the fuck
Yeah.
shit,
I've
you
been
know.
You said your oldest is 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so my daughter is 10, and she be on that K-pop Demon Hunters a bit too much for me, but
Yeah,
you know
right.
it can't be helped. Yeah,
That yo man, and then I got all the way to the 1 year old. She'll run up to
yeah.
me, Daddy, soda pop, soda pop.
Uh,
I'm like, oh my
uh,
goodness, come on now,
yeah,
child. So I'm
yeah.
trying to like combat shit a lot in my household. I'll be like, hey, you like K-pop Demon Hunters? Check out these niggas juking in Memphis. Look at what they doing. You know what I mean? I'm trying to connect the dots for them. Like, hey
Yeah,
man, this
yeah,
our
yeah,
shit, dude.
yeah.
A lot of the stuff I'm watching is just like just going through memory lane, especially now.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son is 9, so he at that age. I'll put him onto the right video, and it'll send him to the universe and just
Mm-hmm.
marveling at that, bro. Just watching
Yeah,
my kids grow up the movie I'm into, like,
yeah,
holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
What else we be on? I've been watching The Residents.
Oh, the hospital procedural shit. Is that
Nah,
it?
it's the White House detective one with
Oh, okay.
my girl Cordelia Cup. I fuck with The Residents.
I don't know if I seen that. Yeah.
I don't know if you would like it. It's some
Yeah.
it's some
Okay.
silly
Yeah.
shit. It's just like
Okay.
I don't know, a little soap opera kind of detective
Yeah.
thing.
Take your mind off of things for a little bit, go somewhere else a bit. Yeah.
Right,
Not everything got
right.
to be academic and intellectual or even beautiful in ways, but yeah.
And to that, my favorite show, it's been off for a year, but I think it come back next year, is From. That's my favorite show.
Okay. I don't know that one either.
That's fucking terrifying. It's nasty, it's scary. And I don't like scary shit typically, but it's from the people who wrote Lost, and it's like
Okay.
it's their revenge show. Like, you know how
Okay.
people was like, y'all fucked up Lost, they was
Yeah.
like, all right, well, we gonna do it one last time and get it just right. And
Yeah. Yeah, them first few
shit.
seasons of Lost was hard, but then it kind of it
Yeah,
spiraled. But yeah, I might have to check that one out because, like I said, the first few seasons of Lost,
it
I
got
was
the
like, "What is this
same
smoke
brother,
monster?" Yeah, okay.
Harold Harold Perrineau, the black dude from Lost.
Okay.
He and From, and
Okay.
he paid for it too. Shout outs to that brother. He made it happen.
Okay.
Shit's great.
Hey, that's what's up. Yeah, I'm
And
gonna have
books
to
wise,
get
I'm
that.
reading. I forget the author, and I feel really bad about it. But I'm reading this book called Slavery's Exiles. That is, my mom gave it to me. It's it's
Mm,
it's really helping me out a lot, and it's about maroon communities in America, and
okay.
our history of escaping slavery. And
Mm-hmm.
some niggas was like, "Fuck a society." Like,
Yeah.
nah, that ain't for me.
Mm,
And just that other path, and
ah.
I find myself on that other path a lot in life. And so having this historical text to consult has been great. So Slavery's Exiles, about maroon communities in America, that's been my book lately. My book all the time is the Bible. I know cats will
Okay.
hate on that, but that's my all the time read.
Ah.
Just
I didn't
just
realize that you were like a Judeo-Christian type of person.
I'm a symbols person. And
Okay.
you can't argue with the impact of some books on this planet,
Yeah.
and that's one of them. So if you want to be versed and you want to be a writer, then
Yeah.
you have to be well versed in the Bible if
Yeah.
you want to be a writer in the English
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they the old when I first was born God when I was 16, the God that born me into it, he used to make sure I was on my Bible verses and on my Quran verses, and if
Yeah,
I start,
right.
he would test me, and if I got it wrong, you get a little punch to the chest type beat, and it's like, all
Type
right.
beat.
Yeah, but yeah, I find that's one of the wonderful things about poetry too, is that language is like a virus, and words could be symbolic towards anything, and sometimes people put together language in a special way, and it triggers something that might not even be intentional, but is one of those happy accidents of misunderstanding and understanding. So the Bible, yeah, sometimes I'll read something out of the Bible and be like, oh, that's hard. That's actually
I just
amazing.
love the stories and stuff and all the little weird side characters no one ever talk. Like right now, I'm super into Balaam. I'm like super into
Okay.
Balaam's story. Like, what's up with Balaam? Like, he's like rocking with King Og and what's the other cat, King Shahan, and all these these heretic motherfuckers who get wiped off
Yeah.
the earth. But Balaam knows God somehow, but then still gets annihilated. And I just like the
Yeah.
Bible's so cold like that.
Yeah.
He's like, what did he
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
What did he do?
Yeah.
And they don't tell you anymore. So you got to do all this extra research. That's the
Sure.
kind of shit I'm into. Anything with
Power.
extra research. So yeah, it's not so much right now for me about like I love the gospels and all that stuff. Those are good reads. But like I'm actually very into the minutia and the like, who is this guy? And like where was that? Like, hold up, pull
Yeah.
up a map and show me
Yeah.
where
He
the
wasn't.
border.
Yeah.
I
He
want
wasn't
to
in the
see
show
the
credits I heard about. Like nobody put him on the
nigga.
IMDb. Where's it?
Certain shit it says in there, like
Yeah.
again, Balaam,
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with him because they say like King Og, the last of the giant kings, or something. You're like the last of the. So who was the others? Who are the giant kings? Like what is this shit?
Yeah.
And I love that stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I know people got bad taste in their mouth for that stuff, and they should. White supremacy is the devil, bro. So
Yeah.
can't argue with that.
Yeah. All my family, I'm the only one in my family who's a communist, who's a Pan-African socialist, and who is not Christian, So,
Oh wow.
yeah. My father passed, so yeah, no Muslims either, so yeah.
Oh
But,
wow. God bless.
yeah. Yeah, I'm the weirdo in my family. I'm the black sheep in my family. Everybody else is, well off or gangsters, in jail or fucking buying a second house type of shit. So, yeah. It's a weird
How
part
that
of
go,
what-
bro? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Walking a different path is a weird thing. Like I wasn't even supposed to be out here in Japan. It was a happy accident. I got here through hip hop shit. Like I went to go visit my parents, and during that time, I was teaching breaking. I was teaching how to break because I'm
Oh,
an
wow.
old 4 element cat. And my wife was in a crew in Okinawa. She's Okinawan. She won't say she's Japanese. She Okinawan. And we started talking, and then I was like, yo, you want to get married and move to Tokyo? We must have been we wasn't even dating. We was fucking for like 4 or 5 months. And she was like,
Right.
sure. And we got married. We moved to Tokyo, and we've been together for like 12 years almost. And
that's so
our
beautiful.
relationship is now we got a little daughter who breaks. Now we got, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't supposed to be here. I ain't got no type of college degree to get no visa, nothing like that.
Wow.
I'm off that spouse visa. Yeah.
That's beautiful, bro. Okinawan. Oh shit. That's
the
hard.
indigenous people, the Ryukyu
Yes.
Islands.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so hard, bro.
Yeah. My wife don't even look Japanese. A lot of people, like, when she talked to people, be like, wow, your Japanese is so good. And she'd be like, bitch, I'm from Okinawa. Like, what the fuck you on, man? Yeah, they be trying to other anybody out here that don't look, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, she, yeah. So,
That's hard,
like
man.
life is ill. I just be trying to have a good time. I got my little depression and shit like that, but I got my medicines and my routines to remind me that I'm dope and things is fine,
Yeah.
Gotta have that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And homies too, to help remind you.
Oh, for sure. Community is a big thing for me out here. You met my cousin A Valley. He Black Seminole too, and you know how small that community was. So that's why we go by straight cousin. We don't go by cousin folks. We go by blood cousin because he Black Seminole off of it too. Yeah. And then I got my other man that you met, MJ, who he the young Lord, he the young God, and
MJ
through them and all of the community out here, it's a real strong contingent of black folks out here that's really doing some special things, and I'll be a part of all of that when I can.
Oh man, I always tell people about y'all, bro. I'm like, nah, they out there. They out there.
Yeah, we out here. Yeah. And it's not just niggas who's just out here in Japan. It's like some of the folks that I rock with. My man Maurice Shelton took the Tokyo Police Department. It made international news. He took them to court off of racial profiling, which is moving the bars for black folks out here. He's one of 3 people in the court case. My man P.E.A.C.E. McNeil, he be the one on NHK all the time discussing racial profiling, weird blackface. Whenever somebody got to talk about black folks in Japan, they go to my man P.E.A.C.E. McNeil, who's an old, approaching 60 years old god body from Brooklyn. He out here doing that work. We've got a lot of folks out here, and these are people I break bread with consistently. There's people out here. My people Latanya and David, they got what they call the Soul Food House. like a soul food restaurant in the middle of motherfucking Roppongi, and you know there was featured in that, there was like a Jay-Z Pharrell video about black entrepreneurs, and they in that video, you know, whenever I see black folks on the street visiting, well, what is there to do? We don't want to do the tour shit. I was like, take your black ass down to the soul food house.
Right.
That's where you gonna get ate right, and you gonna see what it is, you know, like, yeah. And it's really beautiful, you know. When you came out here, yeah, we was really more than happy to break bread with you. I was excited.
that
I was
was
like,
great.
oh shit,
Man, that filled my cup, bro. That was such a special time. And shout out my boy Kev for real, because
Daddy Kev is what I liked about it is like you could really see the love that Daddy Kev had for you as like a young homie and shit. Like the way that he just like with you, it's like, yeah, I'm making sure that we tight. I got you, don't worry. And Kev been coming out here a lot. I've seen Kev, you know, he was doing low end shit out here when I first got out here in like 2013. You know,
I think he told me that was like his 15th trip out there, something like that. Yeah. No, Kev has changed my life, bro. He's been a great big homie in real life in terms of teaching business stuff, and you know, he's like the only big homie I had. Like the first check he ever gave me, he was like, "You doing your taxes? You know about that?" Like he gave me a big check, but he was like, "You doing what you need to do, making sure." And I cannot say enough good about Daddy Kev. That is a great man. Yeah.
Absolute legend. Of the West Coast of this hip hop thing of all time. Yeah, absolutely amazing, bro. But shoot, man, let me. I got to go get ready to go pick up my daughter. It's already 1:00 here, and she got skipped today. You know, Rory, you my people, man. You know, I love you, brother. I'm with you in Rockland. Anytime you need, you know, next time you come out here, we're gonna break bread again. Just let me know, G. I'm with you. I'm with you in Rockland,
bro.
for sure.
Big love, brother. And I mean, shit, you ever come back down south, man? Come visit. It won't be scary.
Oh yeah. I was in Texas for a little bit, so I might have to go get a little hat to come, you know, put it on. Yeah, I want that Yosemite Sam look though. I need a big, gigantic 10-gallon.
Oh yeah, the big boy. Yeah, the big boy, man. Yeah, we'll hook you up, bro.
Yeah, that shit got to be as wide as I am tall. That's how I got to express myself. I asked for height, but God gave me width. So you know.
Hey.
Yeah.
Take it, man. Hey,
but I appreciate you, fam. Congratulations again on all the new work. I'm gonna keep my eye out for you, and I'm gonna drop this video as probably Friday or Monday. You know what I mean? Okay. I don't do no self promotion. All my shit is just people tapping in when they do. But it'll be up. Secret House Against the World. Yeah, Secret House Against the World.
Thank you, man.
You have a nice night, man, and take care.
Take
care of them kids. You know the vibes. Oh, yeah. I know you already on it.
Yep, for life. Por vida. Peace, brother.
Peace, fam. Peace to the gods.